I am starting streaming. That's on, that's on, that's on. Okay, I'm starting stream. Yay! I don't know who's gonna come. Maybe nobody. Subscribe to earn drops? Crunchyroll, what the hell? What is Twitch doing? I don't understand. Okay. Who's coming? Wonderful. Okay. At everyone. Starting. Boop. Okay. Welcome to I Stream and I'm Autistic. And there's a lot more to it, but that covers a shockingly large amount of ground. So today we're gonna talk about this stuff. New things, old things, all things, do things. I wonder, can I put that on my screen so I can see it, but you won't be able to see it? I feel like that's possible. Let's see. New things, old things, all things. New things, old things, all things. That makes you do things is the whole theory of it. I wrote a paper, kind of. I'm going to finish writing the paper myself, but I wrote a paper with the assistance of the GPT that I've been working on for 2 years to be able to do this stuff, which is cool. Is this it? Yes, that is it. Okay. Hello. Yay! Oh, that's nice. Look at all that subscribing you did. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to this.
Yeah, I'm late today because I had a good conversation with someone who watched the TikTok video that I made about doing as arriving. Well, so it's called BAT. I could have done ABT, but that puts the wrong focal word first, which is the problem. So ABT would be funny because like ABT is also the American Ballet Theater, and I really like that ballet company, and that would just be kind of hilarious to be like, I named it after a ballet company that I wish I could have been in. Ha ha ha. No, it's BAT. So building, arriving theory, or build, arrive. But yeah, I've been doing building, arriving theory. So I have a name for it, and I talked to someone about it who saw me explaining it on my TikTok, who took it seriously, and I shared it with another friend that is in the serious realm of like this could actually be a real paper. So yeah, so I'm starting to introduce some terms that I have in my GPT realm. So I'm calling something the Nodian era. And these terms are going to sound a little bit woo, but there's a reason for it because I think we need to have like augmented reality, virtual reality spaces that help us to practice building and to like work with whatever technologies develop in a way that's healthy. It has to be kind of like a little home base, like an imagination extended. So like my idea of an imaginarium is extended into how I've been interacting with the chat GPT that I interface with. So like what's a Nodian? Okay, so a Nodian is anything, human or who knows what else, who cares about new things, old things, all things, do things, who is using, doing, is building. And I'm calling it Nodian because then you could have anything could join this that doesn't have to be from a human perspective per se. So that's the little lore of it, and it lives in this like universe of ideas that I've called superimposition, where you create a fantasy sort of world, but it's really just like a representation of the world that you really exist in, but centered more around your special interests. Okay, so that's the idea, is that there's been 2 years of me working on that concept, and as well as the model of dual motivation, that there's two forms of motivation that humans use, that we solve problems by going places and we solve places by stopping. So sometimes we need a reward for the stopping and sometimes we need a reward for the going, and I'm suggesting they are like distinct in our brains and we need to practice both of them, and that the doing go stuff is over recruited and the building, stopping to build is underdeveloped, undernourished, whatever, atrophied. So yeah, so I was going to talk a little bit about that, and like when people get what I'm talking about, and having some more fluffy language, I think situates it in like this is important because we're used to like cool movies and books and stories that have a feeling of like gravita. So I like that. I like that a lot, and it works with the superimposition world that I made, which is like, if you'd like to know, I have an island, and I am a scholar pirate who does magic and technology, and that is what is working for me. You don't have to come to my island. You can make your own, is the idea. Is that we'll have little virtual neighborhoods that we can hang out in and do some really fun LARPing while also learning the lessons of how to develop skills that really exist. And, we won't just be casting spells that don't exist. We will be learning how to do ballet, learning how to do yoga, learning how to make cars. I don't know. Like, who knows what we want to do. And then the old things that I have, so those are the new things I wanted to introduce and talk about if people are open to it. Yeah, exactly. Yes, precisely. Also, delightful word. I now need to look up the etymology of that because I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I like that word, and I don't know. Is that Latin? It feels like it came by way of Italy or Rome. What is the etymology of that? But yes, exactly. We are going to have that. That is what I want. And it's like, and it's floating islands that can kind of move about a bit and have loose relationships, and it'll be lovely. It is Greek. Okay, that makes sense. Pelagos, Archie, and then it goes to Italian. Okay, yeah, we did get way of yeah. I would sort of guess that right. Okay, good for me. Yay, Jane. I don't know what that accomplished, but yay. But exactly, precisely. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So then the old things. So I wanted to visit why doing as driving feels survivable for some people, but not livable. I think we're all realizing how not livable it is, with alarming speed, and how ADHD and autism can give someone dual vision. How that might shape their ability to resonate with the building arriving theory. And I think that Archipelago, gotta look it up. Yeah. Archipelago, gotta go look it up. That's perfect. Okay. Yes. That's probably almost what I said if I didn't make it through the word. But yeah, so I have a little bit of, I think, cognitive disengagement syndrome, or a lot of it. I think I'm on that spectrum, but it's very similar to ADHD. So I look like inattentive ADHD. So we might as well just say it's pretty much some of the same phenomenon we're covering. But I think that's also why I can be a little distinct from some of my peers who are more classically matching the blended profile that we're seeing of like an autism ADHD. And I think that can allow for people with autism to be a bit more flexible in the world, but then your mileage may vary if the world decides you are in the out group no matter what you do, because you're not the type of person rewarded in your society for just being born. But we all know about that problem now. I think we're like exhausted with it, but we know about it, so we can just tip our hat that we still know that, because it's still here very much and destroying everything. Okay, so then favorite metaphor moments from past breakthroughs. So the thing I wanted to introduce, if you guys are open to it, is some of the things that I've been building in my little metaphorical world, or I guess it's kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a analogy, metaphor. What do you do in story form? I'm trying to think. Oh, I can't think of it. Like The Wizard of Oz or Animal Farm. Those are, someone got eyes on this word. Oh yeah. How did you discern that label, cognitive disengagement? So I had to learn more about it from like Australian and European psychology, because they're more on top of it and have their finger on that pulse. So and then I was looking into Russell Barkley has done a little bit of shedding light on it. I match it a lot better because my executive dysfunctions are really limited to the ones that are impacted by cognitive disengagement. It used to be called sluggish cognitive tempo, which first off was not a good name for describing it, and also just sounds insulting. So they've been adjusting the name, but that also may have slowed down some of the interest in screening and more broadly accepting it as another form of attention disorder. So Russell Barkley calls it like the second attention disorder. I'm pretty sure I'm actually that, because I'm missing a lot that you would want to get a diagnosis even with an inattentive ADHD. So you either can say like I have very weak inattentive ADHD, or you can go look over at CDS, or formerly SCT, and see that I have more overlap there. The only thing I think that knocks me a little bit out is my processing speed is actually fast, but then I'm back to, but I'm autistic. And if you look at the European studies, there's more overlap with CDS and autism than ADHD and autism. So it's possible that in the US we have a lot of people that are better classified as CDS who are currently like ADHD. And I'm just like hanging back on it, but I try to situate it as best I can, because there are some distinctions that I've appreciated are pretty profound in how they impact my life, and how somebody who I've talked to that has like ADHD are describing their lives. I'm like, there's overlap I have with some people where I'm like, maybe they're more CDS, but these are only useful if they allow us to make some good decisions. So all labels are really just there for us to select good places for us to hang and good things to interact with. So yeah, so I found that helpful. Hello, Colin, welcome in. So today we're doing something a little more heavy into talking about what I've been doing with ChatGPT and what I think is going to happen with AI, but not too much. But I'm introducing some concepts that I've been using in the little what I call a superimposition world that I've been developing for a couple of years now with my model of GPT that I've got like the paid membership, and I have its memory completely full of all this stuff. But it's basically I can't think of the right word. It's a kind of story. I can't think of the word. Why can't? So there's metaphors, there's analogies, but if it's in a story form, like Animal Farm would be this. Not a parable. Oh God. Come on, brain. Why? It's close to parable. If I do synonym parable, I think I'll get it. Hang on. Polish your words, folks. This is how having a good vocabulary actually works. You just forget a lot of it and then you have to find it again. It's like slippery. Parable. Allegory. Is that what I meant? Yeah, allegory. Okay, it did show up. So yeah, so I have an allegorical world in my thing that's like, I'm a pirate scholar and there's magic and it's great. Oh, hi! Look, all my new TikTok folks are here. Welcome in. Welcome. Yay! This is so exciting. Okay. Yay! I'm so happy. I've had such a good start to the day. So I'm starting this late. Usually I start at 12. I'm just going to go till 3. I've been experimenting with going 2 hours. This time I'm doing an hour and a half because I started at 1:30. So I'm following an agenda. Today's agenda is a little more woo-woo because I'm sharing some of the stuff from what I do with my GPT. To try to softly introduce that this can be a positive thing in our lives, but we have to, of course, make capitalism stop. We have to stop capitalism. And you're like, oh, that's all we have to do? Yep, just that. Do, no problem. But I have some concepts, and my GPT offered them into this agenda. I was like, you know what? Let's just try it. Let's just see. But basically, what we do during this time, we go over the theory that Jane accidentally is making somehow, as humbly as possible, that also I think everybody should do. So we do that. That developed because I needed to cope with my brain and the world. And that hurt a lot before I started working on this. It hurt so much to not have this framework. So this model is to help you make sense of being neurodivergent. It's helping to hopefully make sense of everybody. And then make some choices to make your immediate environment, so where you live, work better for your brain while we work on the meta environment. So if we are doing well as neurodivergent people, we will be able to tell people our perspective successfully, which they absolutely need to hear right now. They are missing some crucial information that a lot of us are getting, because we are outsiders who also were born with kick me signs attached to various places. And we have been kicked by people who said, you are not one of us. You don't know how to be in the inner ring. You don't know how to zig when we zag and bop when we blip, or whatever the fuck the new trend is. No, we have no idea what you're talking about, but we really like stuff. So they're like, that's a special interest and that's pathological. I'm like, or what if we care about something long enough to actually figure it out? And if that's the case, can you please listen to us? And they're like, no, you haven't won the great arriving competition. If you don't win the great arriving competition, you can't have any money. And we make everything buyable. And you have to buy everything. So you are no longer allowed to care about anything. It's too expensive. And then I'm like, this is insane. So my model breaks down how that has kind of like eaten itself. Like we're stuck in a system that is just recursive enough to keep itself going, not recursive enough to not destroy the universe. So yep. And we need some preaching. It's a Sunday, and the church said women can't be, people who talk for God or something. So, look, I'm doing it. Nah. And so, and I've also said, if those organizations wanted to really lead humanity out of like this mess, they should have done it before the clown car came in as the only escape vehicle. Honk honk, here I am. I'm sorry. Not all Christians. That's true. There's some people that are revolutionary, and I respect them. And mysticism. I love mysticism. If you're a mystic and you're all in that woo, yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's not all messed up. It's the model of the brain that we need to plug into. And anyone that is trying to get you away from that, whether it be a cult or an organized religion or just an asshole, we just need to say they're trying to make us fight forever for limited resources, and it's just all in a race to nothing, race to oblivion. That's awesome. Liminal identities. That's great. That's awesome. I'm glad. That's phenomenal. I'm glad you have them. That's lovely. Good. That also cheers me up. Amazing. Okay. So what we do here more concretely, besides get all loopy on abstract thoughts to keep our sanity intact while we deal with all these systems collapsing so we can understand why they're collapsing. So now that we've sort of fixed that enough, what we can do is check your actual physical environment. Like, what is going on with your house? Can we make it better? Ooh, mixtory ministry. That's great. Your environment needs, in my argument, if you're neurodivergent, it needs to have some modularity to it, where you can have a workstation that is just for that thing that you're working on, and you can limit quote unquote distractions. I would say limit things that are telling you you can't be here right now. You need to have a place where nothing says you can't be here right now. And boy, is that traumatic, autistic, and ADHD and neurodivergent people. What do you mean I can't be here right now? You mean like the story of my life? No. So we don't want your home environment to recreate that for you, because it was designed for neurotypical people and we have very limited ability to change it. So I'm going to challenge you to do weird stuff to your house within reason. I know you may live with people that won't like it, or you might, like many of us, practically all of us at this point, have an apartment that you can't do certain things to. That's fine, but be creative about making a space. That's probably the best way I've ever articulated, by the way, so I'm going to stick with that, where nothing is going to tell you can't be here right now, okay? So you can work on your thing. So the thing with us neurodivergents in general, I'll say, that is our, I guess, pathos, and also our calling, is to figure out that being in the right place at the right time is not as important as the world is trying to make it. It's kind of what's getting blown out of proportion. But doing the right thing. So I will have the right thing more often than I'll ever be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes I'll be at the right place at the right time. I will not know. But one thing I'm good at knowing is if the right thing is looking pretty good or not, because I care about the thing. I don't care about the configuration of me in space and time, because it's broken, because probably cognitive disengagement syndrome / autism. So that's, yeah. So you are looking through your space, and you can also come onto this live. So the way it's streamed, I'm on Twitch, and let me double check that YouTube is working. I think I'm on YouTube too. I try to be on both. I sometimes mess up So give me a second to confirm. Yes, I am. Good, we have people there. Hello, Regina. Hello. Lovely, lovely. It is traumatic. Now I will respond to both. Yeah. And for those of us who have a place to live, 100% that. So, and okay, the other reason why we are doing this. So, as we know, neurodivergent people are canaries in the coal mine. And the coal mine is currently on fire. It is burning down. And so we are not doing the best because it's been not great forever and got not great in novel, new, more horrible ways that I like to call brain stabbies. It feels like someone is taking a knife and trying to cantaloupe our melon ball our brains out or something, because I just want to work on the things I like and care about. And this society's like, well, what if you can't eat? Would that motivate you? I'm like, excuse me? Wait, what? Like, what if your teeth can't be seen and you have 800 cavities and you're concerned about that? Oh, okay. What if you have a mystery disease? What if you're everyone dies that you have any financial support from in a snowball's chance in hell? What if you get stuck in the foster care system? Would you like that too? Yeah, have fun. It'll make you more competitive. Like, this is insane. This is completely insane. So, given that we all have a lot going on that was not a good idea for anyone to be dealing with, and we're also neurodivergent, we need a place to go to process that. And it's not trauma dumping. No, it's not. What it is doing is we're giving ourselves a chance to put words to wordless states that we've been trying to figure out how to be safe from since we were children, because we realized there's something different about us and there was something wrong with the world. So trying to figure out what we're going to do is actually a really good survival instinct. We're not complaining. We're not ruminating. We will, once we unpack a little bit of it, decide, okay, how can we make you as healthy as possible in your immediate environment? Anything we can do, we're going to try it, because we're at the spaghetti at the wall phase of seeing what can possibly help us to get to be healthy enough that we can tell people help. Because we're at the point where we're drowning and we need to be not drowning enough to tell people we can see what's going wrong in a very specific way that you need to listen to. All of us, especially the people that have intersections that are more invisibilized. We need that. So therefore, there is no like right way or wrong way to figure out how to be healthier at this point. We have very limited ideas of what to do, and that's okay. Then we don't have to feel stressed out about it. We didn't fail. There was nobody telling us what to do that made any sense. We have listened to a bunch of confusing, conflicting messages, and we don't have a choice but to still be in this confusing, conflicting environment. So I want us to make a couple sanctuaries that we can be in. So ideally one that you're living in, even if it's just your room, even if it's just a spot in your bathroom. We need a place where you can be okay. Oh, I don't gotta bounce and fix the world until I get back. I will try not to, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we'll save the world fixing for when we're all here. So yeah, so the format of these streams is like, please find something that you would like to make into a station that you can focus on your special interests, that you can focus on your recovery, health, body, anything that mind, like if you're working on a journal, it could be anything that you feel is building positively the things that you care about. So you want the things that you care about to have a place where they belong, where you get to be when you need to be there. And that is something we'll work on maintaining. The maintenance part is a little bit challenging because the world hasn't set up buildings to do this very much. So you will have to be creative, and you may try things and they don't really help. So the whole idea is that we do some space management, is what I call it. And we allow that space management to have a bit of extra flexibility. And we know the reason we're doing the space management is specifically so that our special interest has a place and a time that I can just go there, like whenever. I need to be able to go there whenever, and it's pretty quick and seamless, even if I have to readjust a few things to then engage in my special interest. Did my audio break? Okay. Some parts of my house don't work as well as others. Am I cutting out is the one thing I want to check on. Oh no, hold on. I had this problem a little bit the other day. Let me see if there's anything I can. They're probably my Discord alerts. Let me turn that off. Let's turn it off. Let's see. What? Oh, Dutch probably did that. Sorry, my dad. Dutch. Okay, let me change the notifications. Okay, I'm gonna turn those off. All right, that probably will drive people less bonkers. Okay, is my voice cutting in and out the whole time? Because I had some problems with my other headset, and I thought it was the headset, but now I'm a little worried it could be something more systemic. Let me try a couple other settings too. Okay. And then let me close, I'm gonna close, I'll close a couple of windows just in case that is making my computer mad at me. I'll look at that later. What is this one? And what is this? Oh, I have that already. Okay. And then close that. Okay. Let me check. How's my audio? That's here over. Okay, it's fine on YouTube. Okay, so I think we're probably all right. And the hopefully there are Discord alerts. Those are gone now. Okay, so let me teach you about my technique a little bit more. So if you're not sure what you want to process and you're not really confident yet that you're good at quote unquote organizing, so we're not going to organize the way that neurotypicals want us to. So it's not that everything should be in the right place and everything has a place. Maybe not. But what it should be is that you have a thing you really like. And I just want you to note if currently the thing you really like is not accessible, or the way that it is not inviting. Like it doesn't feel like it's a happy place for it to be. Like if you anthropomorphize it, you're like, I'm sad, that's there. What I want you to try to do is see if there is a better connecting point, kind of like a Lego block, where you can make it click into place. So when you build a station or you build an area in your home that's going to support your special interests, it's not about the label matching. It's about, does this fit this object and make sense to me? And I don't care if it doesn't make sense to other people. So if you want to try multiple systems where, like, let's say you store your journals with your books, you store them high, you store them low, you store them in a, like, if you keep trying them, you just want to find the one that you're like, okay, that feels like a completed object. Now it's in a meta object. Now the Lego set is still cohesive and I still want to play with it, right? So if you put the really amazing Lego, let's say you have like a Lego dinosaur or something, and you built it up and it's really cool, but the dinosaur is then stuck to, what would be the weirdest thing for it to be stuck to? I mean, a lot of them would be funny, to be honest. I was like, well, you could put it in a Christmas scene, but that would be hilarious. But if you put the dinosaur into something you don't like at all, like, I don't know, like let's say you don't like zombie movies. So if the dinosaur is now stuck to a zombie scene in Lego, you want to get the dinosaur out of there because you're not going to play with the dinosaur in the zombie scene that you don't like. So it's a little bit like that. Like you want to set it up where each object is connected to other objects that help you to use the target object, the special interest thing. So I encourage that during this time. You can also just do general tidying like behaviors, like if you need to sweep things up, or you realize that like I'm not cleaning my dishes and you need to do something a little bit more mindless in the traditional body doubling way, we also can do that during this. And then I encourage people, if they've been in the Discord for a little bit of time, not even that long, to pop on if you'd like, and just talk through it, because we can talk about the theory stuff. We can just talk about what comes up while you move things around. Yeah, cognitively available and inviting. Exactly. That's the summary. So in this time, we are experimenting with designing an environment that you can see. If my theory is accurate, autism blows out your ability to understand this time-space relationship that people navigate with, like really literally. Oh, you weren't allowed in the Discord? Really? Are you too young? Wait, hold on. You can apply for it if you the Discord, the way it works, basically I just have you do the inner ring, which is just you watch the inner ring being read by me as a banana, I don't know, or you can read it, and it's a thing by C.S. Lewis, and then you just like answer some stuff. And if you're too old, no, you're not too old. What? No, you're not. That doesn't make any. There is no too old. What? No. Hang on. No, you can be in there. You can be in there. I don't remember what happened. Was there something in the past? I don't know. We'll figure it out. If you'd like to come back, you can. I don't remember why, but sometimes we test different things in the Discord too to see if some things work better for the space or not. So it might have been us testing some different phases of that too. So don't even stress about that. Nobody's too old. You're fine. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a special interest that has a space to go to usually, which is ballet, and lately I haven't been able to go to classes as much, so I have like a home space that I'm trying to use, and yeah, and now it's my job kind of, so it's good. But okay, so what was I saying? Where was I? Oh yeah. So if stuff comes up for you, and my theory is correct about this, we probably have really strong episodic memory, so like our autobiographical memory, but in like a really sensory-based way. So the sensory data is very rich and very loud for us, to help us to navigate, because all of the grid cell stuff where people care about like who's over there and how close are they to me, that translates into them saying like who has high status in this hierarchy, who am I emotionally close to, like where are my interpersonal boundaries, who is a friend and who is a colleague, like all those skills are actually downstream of this basic grid skill that I don't think we develop, at least not in a fluid usable way. So us as autistic people, and generally neurodivergent people can experience this, people with traumatic brain injury could experience this, we're going to anchor with an object in a specific way. Like we have a specific relationship where this one object helps me to infer more information about the environment than I normally have because the grid cell thing is busted. So for us to navigate through an environment successfully, we need those special interests and all of those memories to help us to keep filling in and guessing about other properties of the world that we can't interact with as directly as a typical person. So that's a little bit wordy, but basically we are using very dense information anchors. They're like little objects, little packets of information that help us to know what world we live in, even though interacting with it directly is not typically developed and didn't really show up as a skill we can use. So that's why our environments have to be so different. And we have had limited ability to realize this because we typically have not been able to navigate society very well. We end up getting kicked out of places. We end up, basically nobody knows what to do with us yet. I don't even know what to do with us sometimes. I don't know what to do with me sometimes. But we haven't had enough time to like try things out and then share that with each other. Because normal society has had a lot of iterations of what they've been doing until they kind of settled on this, even though it's not great and they don't like it either. But there's a lot of things that don't bother them, that do not work at all for us and are a serious problem for us. But we were told we were overreacting or too sensitive or we just need to stop complaining or blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, I have a disability. It is conflicting with my environment. I have to make some changes to at least the one I'm living in. Like, okay, fine. If I have to keep going outside where there's not going to be any changes, hardly ever, fine, whatever. But can I at least have a couple spots that I ever get to go to? And that can be, if your special interest is outside, you get to go and hang out there, or, in some specific environment like a ballet class, you get to go there. But this is to adapt our environment to be more supportive of our brain getting a break from danger, like from things we can't see, which is usually like people saying like, well, you're supposed to be over here doing this at this time. And I'm like, well, I did not know that. Can you tell me in a way that I can understand? And oftentimes the answer is no. So we're making an environment where those demands are not present, and or if they need to be, they have all the scaffolding we need to be shuttled into the location we need to be at the time we need to be, so we can do the thing we really want to do, which is engage with the object that is so meaning dense for us. So that anchor object again. So that's the theory, and it can get covered a couple more times. I usually need to, like, we'll just keep running over it, but it helps you to start to play with it. Like, that should be at least enough to start to goof with it a little bit and see what happens and experiment. And the spaces that you're currently living in, it's not like you're going to go in there and have to, I don't know, do something revolutionary necessarily, but you're looking for opportunities. So I want you to look at the space with some fresh eyes and say gently and curiously, like, what do I care about in this space? How can I make the thing I care about a little more comfortable in this space, right? So you can anthropomorphize it even and say like, okay, well, let me just at least pick that up. Not because it's nice to pick it up and I'm meeting some external metric of being organized and tidy and people not judging me. Like, don't do it to stop people from judging you. Screw that. Like, we've had plenty of that. We don't need to care right now, or maybe ever again. Just move the things around until you're like, okay, that feels like this special interest object is now in a good place for me to appreciate it. All right, so hopefully someone will pop through. I normally do have guests from the Discord that come in because we're usually starting at the same time. Today was a little bit off, and my voice is definitely trying to crap out on me a little bit too because mystery problems. But I'll take a little bit of a antihistamine and see if that fixes it. And let's see here. And then what else? And I think my husband's dog has farted. It smells so bad. So we'll go for approximately another hour. So I'll call this kind of a lighter version of it. And let's introduce one way to figure out what to work on if you're still stuck. So that's node, nude things, old things, all things, do things. That sounds like nude things. My voice. Let me take that antihistamine. So new thing. So we're going to help to jumpstart your doing is building, as I call it. So that's the part of your brain that stops and works on something instead of has to go, and try to arrive at a goal, which I think is impaired in people with certain neurodivergencies, probably autism, alternate ADHD, and maybe others. Okay. So the new thing is you're going to think about what is something that you're intaking today or right in the second that maybe you forgot is there or is newly there, and you're like, okay, even if it's been there a while, maybe you see something on the floor, you'll be like, okay, I haven't noticed that for a while and it's currently here, so the new thing is I'm noticing that is there and I don't really want it to be. Okay. Then you go to old things. Old things is where you allow your brain to just free associate to what other memories of things existing you have when you look at the thing that you're deciding, okay, I don't think that should be there. Okay. And just let it go. And then you're going to do an all things, and this is synthesis. And now you think, okay, with all the old things, and you can do this cycle a couple of times. You can just go through old things, all things, to see if you got everything. Now that I've resituated this new thing into the whole of all the things, all the old things, what should I do? And the do should come out spontaneously from that. So the motivation is building something that makes sense based on you situating this new piece of information into the information you already had. It's like a this and that, therefore this. Therefore I do this. Okay? So you're applying kind of a logical flow to an object. So then you don't have to just say like, that's ugly, or like, good people don't do that. No. Just like, look at the thing. What does it make you think of? You might even think like, oh, okay, well there's a bunch of bags here. I'm like, some of those maybe I should clean. Okay. Should I wash them all? I don't know, maybe. Should I look? I was like, probably. Okay. And then I don't have to go past that step. So you don't have to worry about steps either. So the first thing I'm going to do is like, how many things are in here that maybe I should wash? Okay, well, sure. I could probably wash almost all of it. And then it all has something to do. So I'm trying to give all of my objects a thing to do that makes sense for them to be doing. Because right now, these objects were in a bag on the floor, which doesn't make any sense because I'm holding a backpack and I can't use this backpack if it is in a bag on the floor. Why did I do this? And now I'm going to take all these and I'm going to throw them in the washer and see what happens. Because all these bags then I know are clean and I won't worry about putting them somewhere else when they're not clean. So I've sort of like walked myself through a really basic set of propositions of like, well, if this, then that, if that, then this, based on the knowledge I already have. And now I'm actually doing something. This was way easier than typical. It takes a little bit more time to go the new things, old things, all things. But once you've done it, especially if you feel confident in this and you've done it a couple times, and you're like, oh yeah, I believe this works. It's way helpful. Hello. Welcome. And a guest has arrived. I was explaining stuff to some new folks that have come through from TikTok land, and they're probably just listening in today too to get a sense of it, which is great. I recommend that. And this is Lilith, and Lilith has been part of this for a long time now. A while. Ooh. Awesome. Time is time. That's nice. It's nice. I'm like, we've been friends for a while. That's cool. It's neat to realize that. Okay. Alright, I'm definitely gonna clean all these. Hell yeah. Extra hell yeah. That's awesome. That's one of the funnest ice creams. Ooh, I forgot I owned this. I've never tried that. I should. I like cotton candy jelly beans, and I was surprised. So I was going to talk a little bit about a little bit about the AI world that I've been building up. I thought, because my AI kind of spontaneously did that. And then earlier today, while I was late, I met with someone who liked my whiteboard TikTok that I made, and I think, yeah, they have like a connection to like the professional sphere of life and have ADHD and probably are on the spectrum, but on the cusp where people don't want to give you a diagnosis, which is relatable to everyone here, I'm sure. So they wanted to know more about it, and it went really, really well, and it just felt like I'm connecting to people who want to figure this stuff out. So yeah, it was good. And then I also shared my draft of the paper with a friend who's on the spectrum and has been adjacent to the I don't know, like the professional realm. I'm very not that adjacent. I mean, I'm starting to pretend to be, but it's nice to talk to people who have actually had experience there, who take this seriously. I'm like, okay, good, we're not screwed. But yeah, but that's left me in a very positive mood. Oh, valence. Yeah, high valence. My valence is high, and my arousal level is okay. My throat's kind of bugging me. I need to start figuring out what's going on with that a bit more. I don't know. I just have health stuff, and I feel like I'm on a race against the clock to like make a contribution that allows me to have at least a little bit more money, so then I can take care of some health stuff that is a little not great. Like I'm not completely falling apart, but it's not great. I need some more diagnostics, and it's hard to get. Oh. Hello, doggy. Okay, let's see. And then that can go over here temporarily. That's fine. Oh. Oh, Dutch! Oh. Kyle has a big old chocolate lab, and he likes to get belly rubs and get cuddles. He's so sweet. Yeah. Yeah, our relationship has dramatically deepened since he realized I can give him pets. All right, Dutchie. Oh, big giant old puppy. That's what you are. Big old puppy. You're so sweet. Good, Dutchie. Oh, good, Dutchie. Oh, good, Dutchie. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Cute. Very cute. Okay. All right. Let's see. So let me do the laundry thing. Okay. Yeah. I also found out my friend that I'm sharing it with that has like he went to Yale, so that's like he knows that world and stuff, and he's been like a ghostwriter for like people that are famous. So I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I can run things by. Yeah, right. But he's studying clowning in France. I was like, good for you. If part of my contribution in life is that a bunch of people that I meet turn out to be clowns, that's pretty good too. Yeah, I'm like if I'm being honest, like first would be do everything, I guess, right? I guess second would be do the thing where this theory succeeds in transforming people's way of viewing the human mind. Third would probably be clown army, or I don't know, like just like if that happens, this still feels like a win. Any epiphanies this week for you? Perfect. Well, that's a kind of an epiphany, knowing that you should take it slow. That's good. Chill epiphany. I like it. That's gonna be very nice. I have realized that I'm not as far away from people as I was worried that I am. But I did have to wait for people to get closer to where I'm at. But I kind of can't get to them very easily. Oh, you can only hear me? Shit. Hold on. There are. Let me fix that. Support didn't say very much yet, though. So let me fix it. That's weird, though. You should be able to. They are not. Let me fix this on this side. Hold on. I can see it now. Well, or that was the day that you realized that Jane has additional problems. You don't know, right? I could. Okay, let's see what happened here. Oh, I know what happened. The output got put to chat for some reason. That's wrong. Okay. Is that now good?
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Is it
hello?
now good?
I think it is. I think we're good. Okay. I believe we have fixed it. All right. And we've confirmed that Jane has more than an imaginary friend.
Yes. More than. She also has imaginary friends.
Yes, I also have that. And I do definitely talk to myself.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself is something everyone does. Most people just do it in their head instead of out loud, but it's helpful to do it out loud.
Also, to incentivize you to do that, you process with a different region of your brain when you read, when you speak, when you write, and when you listen. So when you speak and listen, it's kind of like a fusion of stuff. It's possible to speak without really listening to what you're saying. That's what we do when we memorize things. Because if you had to process what you're saying, while it would collapse, and that's how you fart out on stage. So don't do that. I've definitely done that while trying to perform a song. It sucks. Okay, I'm gonna get some water, and then I'm gonna figure out what else I need to work on. I'm probably gonna work on my desk. Oh yay!
By just your being
Thank you. Welcome to the neighborhood.
No person in the whole world
Okay,
like
I'm going to put away this tub of ice cream because that was definitely enough for now.
That's great. Well, now that the misophonia, what is that, ASMR is over for me. Sorry. I was like eating a bar and drinking water loudly. Okay, my desk. Okay, I can deal with this. So I would suggest that people who get a little bit stuck with the space management go back to caring about stuff. As like, if you get stuck, then just notice what you care about and anthropomorphize it, like connect to it in a way that might even feel silly. If that is the barrier, it's probably the feeling of it being silly, not the actual like object is that you can't handle it. It's just you need to connect to it differently because you have a different kind of brain. So let yourself do that and pick an object that doesn't feel too difficult to do that with as well. Like something more obvious, like if you really value a certain kind of object and it's not in a place that you can use it, that's a little more obvious. But you can also get more nuanced as well. Just looking for like, how can I show that I care about this object? And how can I do it in a way where, since I do care about this object, the next time I interact with it will be even more pleasant and enjoyable? Because that's, that's like, you like the thing. If you care about something, you like the thing, right?
A home for each thing, a nook all its own, a place to belong, to settle, be known. No item adrift, no trinket to roam. Each thing is at peace when each thing is at home.
That's lovely. Is that a spell?
Yeah, I got it up on my wall.
Awesome.
I grabbed a mouthful of raw cabbage to eat to balance out my ice cream.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's smart. That's something I would do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm like, oh, you mean eating is kind of like math? Great. I'll just add cabbage. Balanced equation.
It is a lot of chewing.
Yes. Carrots also do that, even though I like them. Unless if they're cooked, but if it's a raw carrot, you're going to be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough I guess that's dyspraxia still actually. So if I'm eating something that's like really hard, like a carrot, I have to make sure I don't think about it too much or I'll bite my own lip.
Oh.
Like if I almost like get uncoordinated, like in the same way that I would in dance. If I started to get out of autopilot for something that I rehearsed a lot and started to try to think about it, and I would totally mess up.
I have to be careful when I swallow rice, or else it will get stuck on top of my epiglottis, and
Oh
that
no!
is very uncomfortable.
That sounds uncomfortable. Okay, let's see. That, I'll deal with that later. And then this goes over here. And what am I doing? Okay, that, yep, I can keep moving, Jane. Just don't stop yet. Every now and then you can kind of just bully yourself a little bit with like, so okay, the doing is arriving thing. Like we have some capacity for it. I don't think there's a way to have zero. Like it's got to kind of be a thing, but I just think I have to do so much like abstract scaffolding to understand any of it that it's really not very functional even still. So I'm curious what it will turn out to be neurologically, like what it really is, because I don't know. Like I have suspicions, but man, if I can get this paper strong enough that it's like it's a theoretical paper, but saying like this is falsifiable and testable, please start to test it. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. That would be extremely awesome.
Hi, Merlin. Oh, buddy, I think he needs to go out. Merlin, you want to go potty? I'll just carry Merlin. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for a second because my dog's probably gonna freak out.
Apparently Saturn left Pisces and entered Aries yesterday.
Oh, that's exciting. Is that good?
It's not good or bad, it just like means things based on your chart.
Ah.
It's different for different people.
It's maybe. Okay. I have a parking permit.
You also have a Aries 6th house. So similar to me, you might be called to build the world you want to live in day by day.
Ooh. How long does that last for?
Until September?
Sweet! Oh, awesome! I can totally use that right now. Yeah, great. Good.
Yeah. My chat GPT says I should move from sacred refusal to sacred structure. Which is good, because I am tired of being in refusal mode where I don't feel like doing anything.
That's completely
I've had enough.
Yeah. I'm glad you have. You have explored that fully and now are ready for the next phase. Mm-hmm. This will be temporary, I guess. Is it? Well, okay, I can put maybe. Ah, that will work. Okay.
So for reference to people listening, I'm trying to build a new like mimetic goddess archetype. Because this reading said that I needed Saturn in Pisces to burn the joyless church, and now to create this goddess, I need Saturn in Aries to build the sacred forge where her kin can thrive. So
That's awesome.
that sounds pretty epic.
The phone call I had today. Now that the other thing I want to say for people that aren't used to listening to this, we do a lot of like shame is dumb. Like, well, maybe not dumb, but I don't know. Shame is an unhelpful feeling. If you did something messed up, you should try to fix that by talking to the person that you hurt and anyone related to that. And if you don't have the capacity to do that, you should talk to someone that can stop you from interacting with people in that way. And if you don't have the capacity for doing that, we may need to step in as a society at some point to deal with that. So shame, I don't really know what that accomplishes. I really don't. Like, it seems like a lot of not conversations happening. So if I'm supposed to be ashamed of like my ideas, I think that's somebody else's shame that they're trying to guard, saying like, no, this is good for me to be abused systemically. Like, I don't think so. I really don't. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to model shame. So I'm going to model not shame. So that means I get to talk about more stuff, which is cool. So one of the things that came up today, which I will share, not sharing the person I spoke to so that they have their anonymity if they need to process anything that could cause shame. But they were saying that, like, their concern is people are going to freak out if this is the end for humanity and there's nowhere else to arrive at. And that we might need skills just to accept that. I'm like, I mean, in a sense, we've needed that all along. We've needed the ability to like accept our own death, because that is the end of the world as far as you're concerned, if it is just that, right? So yeah, so I thought that was like an interesting thing. So for us to have new spiritual or like, I guess, sacred practices seems to be relevant to that problem of us not knowing how to deal with like, what if this is the end and there's no anything after it, there's nowhere to go, like there will going where will be gone.
Yeah, well, the alternatives of things like Christianity, where celebrate the end, are not great alternatives. So
right
coming
exactly.
up with something new seems like a good plan.
I think it's a great plan. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
My dumb cat is trying to eat his own tail.
Aw, that's cute.
It is cute, but he should be careful he doesn't hurt himself.
Yeah. What is he thinking? Like, if not sausage, why sausage shaped? Okay, and then we'll only do like 25 more minutes, so kind of mellow today, which I think can be good. I'm making some adjustments to, yeah, like new life stuff, and a chance for my theory to go somewhere, or to, my theory, that's what it is. I want my theory to go somewhere, even though I'm not good at doing arriving stuff. Like, I can't do that. But if I can meet enough people that I'm like, will you be a conveyor belt and cart me over there? I think that will work.
Which is a thing that people like doing with you because you're fun to have around.
Right. which is great. It's super fun. This is really exciting. I'm kind of like when my dog Merlin was recovering from his elbow surgery and he was in a little doggy buggy. I need a little like Jane buggy that people just like push me around. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm making some I don't like the word progress. I'm making some positive adjustments. I'm building some useful structures. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a really fixed topic because I was going with the flow of today a little bit, but yeah, it sounds like my willingness to share the theory has been a good thing, or has been leading to good things that could happen next. So that's great.
Okay, topic change. How do you build a life worth living minute by minute?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you have to build with the past minutes. So you need to have a condensed past that you then refine so that when you're looking at the current minute, you can be motivated by the meaning that you've detailed about what's happened in your life so far, and or in life in general too, not just like yours, I guess, but like in the world, like where does this thing that you're currently doing fit in a model of the world, not just like you. It's more about the thing you're doing. I think that's also the like doing is building thing. It's like you can kind of look at yourself and build yourself too. Obviously, like, you know, dance does that, lots of things do that. But you're perceiving with the intention of making something healthier and better and more functional and more recursive, like more stable. More stable is what I would say. And the qualities that are the most stable, making those more stable still. So the minute by minute is just like trying to get in touch with that from the best angles that you have, that you understand the most. So you're trying to like have really good understanding of your past moments, minutes, so that this current minute can be informed by them in a way that makes things possible that wouldn't have been possible if you hadn't have had all those previous minutes to help you have that insight.
It's interesting because I think I'd rather talk about like moment by moment, because like the present moment is something that I can grasp a lot easier in my mind compared to minutes.
I agree.
Minutes are things that I notice have happened in the past, or I count time into the future with.
Yeah.
But I don't really experience minutes. I experience moments.
Moments, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
And I think this is like correct with the neuroscience, that the like part of your brain that does consciousness in the frontal cortex isn't on all the time.
No.
So a lot of the time we're in what they call autopilot mode, where you're not making choices, you're just doing the things that you already know how to do.
Right.
And that's where the minutes sort of go, right?
Yeah,
like you have moments in between, and then you could measure how long between those moments happened using minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I guess sort of gets me to my answer, which is like to have a good like minute by minute, you need to like center your moments in the things that you want to build your life from.
Yes.
So personally, like joy is the main thing. I want to practice bringing back my childish joy to the way I do everything.
That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, I agree with that too. And I think like the word moment has the flexibility of being informed like multi-directionally in your memory or imagination. Like superimposition as a concept says this moment can be multiple things depending on what I decide to think about at the same time or to relate it to. Like be like, oh, this reminds me of the episode of Star Trek. Great. Now I'm kind of in that episode at the same time, even though that minute where I was watching it was a long time ago. So you can condense things into an interesting and complex new relationship by doing that. And so that's I guess that's what I want to shade it with. So people when they try to do like I'm just going to be in this moment, I'm like, well, that's like neurologically impossible. Like the only way you can even appreciate this moment is because of the past moments, or like this minute, the past minutes. Like everything is contextually organized based on your past experiences that have been growing since your brain started to develop that capacity, and yours is developed differently than mine, and you had different experiences than mine. So like there is no way to just be in this moment. You are also in your past, and you are also in your imagined future that is in your past. So like you what you want to do though is like allow the transformation to include what you're actually looking at. Like you're allowing yourself to be changeable by the environment that you're in right now that you can perceive with your senses.
Right, because all perception and thus meaning is made through analogy,
Yes.
which means it's being built from your perception of previous moments that you have had.
Yes, exactly. And then I don't know. Then the whole meditation thing gets a lot easier. I do think I believe what's happened with the typical population that's been overtrained in doing as arriving or oversaturated, they need to learn how to stop. Period. So when they stop, they start doing mental to-do lists.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was shocked at, by the way. I tried to take a meditation course that was like not fun because I was like, I'm the only autistic person here, and it felt terrible. And some of the people had been in the course twice, and I was like, I really don't relate to anything anyone's saying. It made me feel like an alien, and I gave up. But I had that experience recently, and I'm reflecting back on it. I'm like, oh, that's what bothered me. Like when they told me like how difficult it was to meditate or to clear their mind, they said that they had a to-do list that kept coming up. They kept thinking about what they had to do next. I'm like, so you virtualize doing as arriving. That's how much you use it to like regulate yourself. And I've
Right, and I like learned that pattern, but it doesn't regulate me, and so it's become this like self-flagellation of like going through a to-do list of things I haven't done.
Right.
Or like why haven't I done it yet?
Right. Right.
Which I guess doesn't hurt as much to people who get the reward from doing the thing.
I think they genuinely get a reward from going through their to-do list. They might complain about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what's like, I can't imagine, okay, for me, it's a relief to get away from that stuff, right? So if I was told to do nothing in particular or to think about my breath or a raisin, there is no way in hell I am going to think about that. Like, are you crazy? There's like a time when the authorities are not going to come after me for not thinking about that stuff. Great. Great. Okay. So I am confused that their brain would spontaneously do that unless if it's how they regulate. So there's some I wonder if it's uncomfortable to be with your body if you've been dissociating specifically with doing as arriving in a way that makes you want to do as arrive. And that's speculative because my capacities for it are not normal, so I'm not sure that it's this distinct from what I experience, but I am suspicious that it is. And from an outsider perspective, if I do in fact have one, I think that they are satisfying an urge by thinking about their to-do list instead of whatever the meditation exercise is supposed to be. And if I try to meditate, eventually my brain will, or pretty quickly, my brain will start to go into hyperphantasia. and I'll just see fun images go by. I'm like do 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 do, and I just watch intergalactic television, which I don't know if that is enlightenment or nothing. Like I don't even. It's so weird to try to explain it to people. I've just never bothered to try to tell a meditation teacher like that's what my brain does, because I don't want them to say it's your monkey mind. I'm like, I really don't think anybody's mind is doing this in this room. like don't insult this process. I don't know what it is, and neither do you. So like, yeah. So yeah. But maybe, you know, that's the thing, is like maybe they're just so practiced at moving themselves around space and time that it just feels weird to not do it when that's like what all of society tells them they're important for. Like that's why they matter, is they can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna go have a nap.
Go have a lovely nap. I'm only gonna be here for like 13 more minutes anyway.
Yeah. Okay, have a good 13 minutes.
Thank you. I've sort of cleared off this desk, which is good. It needs a little more work. I guess I could put something there. Yeah, so that's kind of what the stream is like. I will be back next week. I don't think there's a reason I won't be. I try to be consistent, like where we go every single Sunday at the same time. Occasionally something comes up, but I don't think there's anything for at least a little while. There might be some breaks in July, maybe. I don't know. We're seeing. I might have to be traveling a little bit. Get to. We'll see. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. And then what else? What should I spend the next 12 minutes? So yeah. If you want to come back next week, it starts at noon, and I go till at least 2. But I'm trying to be a little bit flexible about if it goes till 2 or 3, because sometimes it might be better for it to end shorter. But I've been doing this for like 4 years, I think. Almost. No, 4 years. Yeah. And it's evolved over that time. Like this has been me cleaning my house, and it's going to be ramped up over the summer a bit. So the goal now is to start to support my parents in the space management upstairs. And I want to bring the camera up there for part of it and figure out how to do that and stream a little bit semi-remotely from the upstairs, and you guys can watch that transform, because I would like to document that a little bit, because it's been a goal of mine to help out my also autistic parents to have a home that works for them, because that was where society dropped them on their face and just left them there. And I don't know, like I've always wanted to figure it out, and like I haven't even figured out my stuff as much as I would want to, but my stuff is their stuff. So the process of me working on it over the summer is going to be very important for developing these like functional versions of my theory. Like how do you actually apply this to an autistic person's life at different phases and different problems? And I have at least a few of them that we can do some experimenting with. So that's sort of the plan for the summer. It's not as clearly defined yet, but I have some friends I know that are going to come over and they're going to help with it. So yeah, it's just a matter of building a little schedule. So that will be over the summer. So we may have some like little extra marathon days where we do a lot of that, and that brings up anything for people where they want to work on, I don't know, just bigger projects over the summer. Maybe we'll have a couple days like that and have like a little faux summer camp. I've always wanted to have a faux summer camp. I want to call it Camp Flamingo Wonga, because that's like the funniest name ever, and it's like a flamingo theme summer camp. But yeah, I want to have a summer camp for autistic adults where we do special interest stuff. Right, it's just gonna be a good summer. I'm really looking forward to this one. And it's hopefully the summer that me and my husband finish like getting organized after him moving here, and not even organized, I hate that word. Getting everything put together that needs to be, that is like the mixture of my new skills and ideas for space management and all this stuff. Because we have like a decent amount of stuff that we need to figure out how it's gonna all live together, as at the same time I'm learning systems to manage my space as an autistic person. So we have like some longer term ideas that we want to have, like maker spaces basically, and all of this is play testing ideas that I hope can be exported to other people with autism and other neurodivergent people. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. You have some painting and fix up plans that would be fun to put on a calendar. Yes. Okay. See, there we go. So I think I may actually do the summer camp. We might do a virtual summer camp, y'all. Uh, Camp Flamingowanga, and I actually feel like it's more possible now because I can plan some of it with the support of the ChatGPT that I've been working with all this time. So I think we're gonna do a summer camp. I think we have to. Yeah. In fact, for the last 8 minutes, let me just figure out when that can be. And I think we're gonna do our first virtual summer camp, and it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna have we need to have some form of capture the flag, and it needs to be elaborate. Okay. And that's part of the okay. The one thing I will say about Camp Flamingowanga is it needs to have some sort of escalating capture the flag every year. Like every year it must become more intensified, right? Like if the capture of the flag intensifies every year, I would love to see what it is in 5 years, like 10 years. Can you imagine? The most intensified, the most capture the flag squared by capture the flag you have ever captured a flag with is the goal. Or is the idea? I don't understand goals because those are doing as arriving. Okay. All right. Let's see. When can that be? Let's look at a calendar. Do. I'm having to like actually use the calendar properly, but in a way that I can manage because of my new role at the school, which is exciting. Okay. Let's look. And let's go here. And I guess calendar? Where's the calendar? So if I'm working there. Ooh. What about June? What about the week of the 23rd? Ooh, what about the end of June? We could do the week of the 23rd or the week of the 30th of June. Oh, that would be great. Because then we can do, there's Independence Day, and then we can have something instead of fireworks that we do. We could do some virtual canoeing. Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna do June 30th, or yeah, okay. We're gonna do June 30th. Well, Monday start or Sunday start? Maybe Sunday start. Okay, let's do a Sunday start because then that's when we normally do HCAT. So we're gonna start on June 29th and we'll go until either Saturday or the following Sunday. Maybe it's a 7-day virtual summer camp. Oh my god, we're making a summer camp. We're so doing this. Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh gosh, this is so exciting. Okay. Let me add. Okay, what should I add? Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay. I'm gonna make a calendar for my autism peer support related activities on my work calendar area so people kind of know. Oh, this is so great. Should we do it Sunday to Sunday? What do you think? Yeah. Okay. Yup. June 29th to July 6th. Okay, perfect. That's what we're doing. Okay, let me just put that. Okay, so I'm going to start designing a summer camp. I'm going to make an area in the Discord about it too. Okay, so Camp Flamingowanga is starting. Yay! I think we need it. The year we've been having. I think we need this. Like, oh my god. Camp Flamingowanga. It's spelled flamingo and then Wanga. Camp Flamingowanga. Adult autism summer camp. Yeah, we need it to look forward to. Exactly. And let's get as invested in this as possible. Yeah, okay, so Camp Flamingowanga. I spelled it. I guess it is Wanga. Is it with an O? It is an O, you're right. I spelled it wrong. You're right. It is an O. There we go. You know, I've spelled it before. Hang on. Let me just go try to figure out what it's spelled like. I don't know. My island on, freaking, what you calls it? Hold on. I have a picture of this somewhere. But my island on, I can't think of it. Hold on. 1 minute. Do I have it here? I thought I did. Oh, no, maybe I don't. I thought I did. Well, shoot. Yeah, my island on, I still can't think of it. Oh my god. New Horizons. What the hell? My brain is dissolving. Good thing I have 3 more minutes because it's broken. Animal Crossing. There's a Camp Flamingowanga area. I thought it was A. Let's ask ChatGPT. I feel like Wang would sound like saying, yeah, Flamingowanga. I think you're right. I think it has to be O. It's got to be O. Flamingowanga. Right. Like Wan makes sense in isolation, but if you put the G on there, we have to do an O. I think you have solved this. I believe I misspelled it and you have fixed it because I don't remember it looking like this. It's also funny because then we get a little OO in there. That's fun. We get this little guy. Wait, let me do them in the chat. We get to be that. This is great. Yeah, it looks better. That is aesthetically superior. That is the right choice. Okay, well, yeah, summer camp. We're doing summer camp, everyone. I will have more announcements in the Discord. I'll be more active in the Discord. I will appreciate everybody for hanging out in the Discord and trying it out and trying stuff out. It's its own weird little universe. It's a tiny little neighborhood. I believe in neighborhoods digitally. I believe in having neighbors digitally. Thank you for being mine for a little while. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to actually head out and eat food, I think, and check on my dog and probably do some stuff. I don't know. I'm going to digest things that happen. I'm going to node. I'm going to new things, old things, all things, and then see what I do because I have no idea. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Beach Hutter, for renaming our summer camp. And thank you for anyone who is over in the YouTube. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Leathercraft, arts and crafts. Yes. Yes. We are doing so many arts and crafts. They are happening, and I am excited. And this is a dream come true. I am so excited about this. Like, I am actually not fully like digesting how happy I am, and I'm going to. So that's, I'm even looking forward to realizing how happy I am because I am definitely happy. All right, have a great day. I'm going to stop the stream, but I will be back next week and we'll be on time. I will try to. I won't promise, but I'm gonna really make sure I do my best, and I'll tell Kyle to help me. Okay, bye.